A little disclaimer before I start, this is not a Blackpink or Jennie hate video. If that's what you're here for, go ahead and click off now. I'm going to try and remain as unbiased as possible throughout this entire video. That said, I've been a fan of Blackpink since their debut. I've been listening to their songs, watching their MVs, following their socials, and keeping up with their content since day one. So to any Blink getting ready to accuse me of hating, calm down a bit and think about this logically. I know we're all tired of watching the same video essays, talking about this thing over and over again, but I couldn't help wanting to share my thoughts as well. Please don't take this as me hating on Jennie or any other member. I will also not be discussing other controversies surrounding Blackpink, whether it's cultural appropriation or saying a racial slur. That's not my place to speak on. And remember to be respectful in the comments. I swear you don't look cool. Now let's get to the video. Since their debut in 2016, every member has proved that they are strong performers on their debut stage. But Jennie and Lisa stood out. That's not to say Rose and Jisoo weren't talented, but the stage presence Jennie had early on was undeniable. However, over time, Jennie's performances became noticeably inconsistent. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 off days. I'm talking about a recurring pattern across multiple stages. Some days she's sharp and electric. Other days it looks like she's completely checked out, standing still, skipping choreography, or even walking off stage mid-performance. I will be using performance videos of their song As If It's Your Last as an example, and I will be focusing on Lisa's rap verse moment in the performance. We can see in these performances in 2017, Jennie is killing the choreography, so in sync with Lisa that you can barely tell them apart. But something shifted in 2018, and Jennie stopped giving that same energy. It's almost as if she grew tired of performing or stopped caring about giving her all. Clips of the performance on the right went mega viral, and this is where the hate train against her grew bigger. Now that would be understandable if it happened once. Idols can have bad days. Maybe she was not feeling well. Maybe something was going on in her personal life. But this same thing happened over and over again across multiple shows throughout the years. That's when it stops being a one-time thing and starts becoming a problem. Fast forward to the Born Pink tour, and if you're a fan or on K-pop Twitter, you already know what I'm about to say. The tour was a mess. Videos of all of the members, aside from Lisa, went viral for, you guessed it, being out of sync, standing still, or forgetting to perform. I'm telling y'all, every Blackpink member was under fire during this tour. But the criticism was especially strong towards Jennie, because this is not the first time this has happened. What made it worse was that this time, it wasn't just one clip or one bad day. It was multiple performances across different cities, and fans couldn't ignore it anymore. People started compiling clips, making side-by-side comparisons, racking up thousands, if not millions of views. I will not even bother sharing clips of that tour, as hundreds of compilations already exist. People noticed how her energy shifts when she's in Western countries compared to Asian countries. It got to a point where Jennie herself had to address her stamina issues in a podcast with Dua Lipa in 2023.
I would constantly hurt myself during performances and lives compared to other girls. And it was just a stressful thing in my life. I'm like, there we go. I fell again. Like I tripped over again. And like I realized that even though I had the training days, that was more about I need to be good at dancing, not how do I keep myself safe and healthy while I'm, doing this. So I feel like I've disappointed my fans at some point of my life where it seemed like I wasn't giving my best. But I haven't had the moment to say this, but I want to say that I did not know how to control my body and like use my body the way I should. When I'm like traveling so much and my body's all bloated and my feet are like so bloated, if I try to dance in heels, my stamina just goes really down because I know it's uncomfortable for me.
However, that did not seem to subside the criticism. If anything, people started telling her to work out more, gain weight, stop vaping, and have a healthier lifestyle. Which is honestly a fair argument, especially for highly paid performers like Jennie. Then came the 2025 Deadline Tour, and the same thing is still happening. Clips of Jennie standing still at the beginning of a performance made waves on TikTok and Twitter. Blinks quickly rushed to her defense, saying she was fixing her mic, which can be seen in other angles. However, Many pointed out that this is not the first time this has happened since the start of the Deadline tour. Multiple clips showed her not being in sync with her other members, making the choreography look like a mess, which resulted in people clowning her on TikTok. Clips captioned, "Finally a Blackpink Jennie choreography I can do," gained millions of views and likes. Another thing people had issues with was this incident as well. Jennie's shoelace came undone while she was on stage, and she ran off stage to the staff to help her tie it up. I personally think the hate she got for this is unjustified. People called her rude, unprofessional, and told her to tie it up herself if she's going to have an attitude. But to me, she was screaming and waving frantically for the staff to get what she's trying to say in a stadium full of screaming fans and banging music. But beyond that incident, fans have every right to call this behavior out. Imagine spending hundreds of dollars for a concert, hundreds more for transportation and hotels, not to mention the excitement of attending your fave's concert, only to be met with lackluster performances. As if they didn't even want to be there? It's honestly devastating. Now, of course, I still think YG is to blame as well. It's obvious he's rushing the tour trying to milk every last drop of fame and money from these girls before they inevitably leave. But if the other members can push through and deliver a good performance, Jennie really has no excuse not to, especially when this behavior has gone on for years. At this point, it almost feels intentional, like a marketing stunt, because good or bad, as long as you get people talking, then that's all that matters. There's no way the members didn't see the backlash from the last tour, and yet they went out and did it again. Either they don't care, or they want the attention. Now I will take it upon myself to go over the excuses Blinks pull up whenever this conversation comes around and tell you why most of them don't really hold up. Excuse 1. She has an old ankle and knee injury. If Jennie truly had a recurring injury that limits her ability to perform, it would be the company's responsibility to modify her choreo, reduce her load, or let her rest entirely. Not throw her on stage to perform half-heartedly while the others go all out. Also, this excuse has been used since 2018, yet she's been seen doing intense choreo, dancing on variety shows, and performing energetically when she chooses to. That inconsistency makes it seem less about injury and more about choice or mood. Excuse 2. She's tired from back-to-back schedules. Every Blackpink member has demanding schedules. Both Lisa and Rosé juggles solo music and fashion. Jisoo also has acting projects on top of that, yet they all manage to perform consistently. Being tired is valid, but it doesn't justify recurring underperformance, especially when fans are paying hundreds of dollars. If she's too exhausted to give her best, maybe she needs a break, not another tour. Excuse 3. She was fixing her mic in-ear monitor. There are dozens of videos of other idols adjusting their mics or in-ears while still performing seamlessly. If mic issues were so constant, YG would have fixed them by now. It's more likely that fans are using this as a blanket excuse for moments where she seems checked out. Excuse 4. You're only seeing one clip. Watch the full concert. That would be fair if there weren't many clips across different concerts, different years, and different countries showing the same behavior. When the pattern repeats over time, it's no longer about one out-of-context video. Excuse 5. She could be going through something mentally or physically. That's absolutely valid. And if that's the case, then she deserves rest, privacy, and support. But the company should also be transparent or pull her from performances, rather than letting her go on stage and face criticism. You can't keep using mental and physical health to shut down critique if she's still being sent on tour like everything's fine. Excuse 6. Other idols have bad days too. That's true. But with Jennie, it's not just one bad day, it's a pattern. Most idols don't go viral for this issue multiple times over several years. If she's repeatedly being called out while her members aren't, it shows this isn't just a one-time slip-up. Excuse 7. She's only human, don't expect perfection. No one is asking for perfection, just consistency and professionalism, especially at a concert people paid to see. Jennie has shown what she's capable of. That's why fans feel frustrated when she gives less, not because they want her to be perfect, but because they know she can do better. I could honestly make a whole video about each member, except Lisa because she's the only one who's consistently on point. And this is coming from a Jisoo and Rosé biased fan. But I know when to hold my faves accountable and stop enabling them. At the end of the day, Jennie can be a phenomenal performer. We've all seen it. But if this is the level of effort she's bringing to every tour, her fans and the people paying to see her deserve better. Whether it's burnout, disinterest, or terrible management, something has to change. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and keep it respectful. We can critique and hold people accountable without being nasty.